Hello and welcome to my voice recap review commentary of last night's episode, December 10th, 2012. Woohoo! I'm back! I'm gonna try and do these last 2 weeks commentary before Idol starts back up. January 16th, mark it on your calendars. That's when American Idol comes back. I'm so excited for Idol, oh my god. I'm actually really excited for the craziness of Nicki Minaj. I'm really excited for it, and I'm really excited to see the feud between her and Mariah Carey. So anyways, like I said on my Where is Juliet Tony 10 video, I just had a lot of personal things going on, and I just really needed time to not have to worry about YouTube and, spend less time on the computer. So I'm sorry if any of you really truly miss me. I highly doubt it, but I'm back for the last 2 weeks of The Voice and X Factor. And I'm wearing a hat because my hair's a mess. And you know what? I was watching a bunch of what's his name? It's Kingsley Bitch. I've been watching a lot of his videos lately just because I think he's kind of hilarious. But he always wears a hat. So I'm like, why can't I always wear a hat? I mean, come on. I don't want to do my hair, so why not just throw a hat on? So anyways, so last night was the semifinals, and I haven't really talked about The Voice since the playoff rounds. I've kind of talked more about X Factor than The Voice. I've kind of just not really had any motivation to talk about The Voice. But I kind of have a lot of stuff to talk about now because I haven't talked about it at all. So we are only down to 4 now, and I will say that my favorite in the competition is no longer there, Miss Amanda Brown. She's gone. She left last week. I think she should have been in the semis, but whatever, America. Anyways, on with the review. So first up, we have Michael Bublé singing a Christmas tune, previewing his special later on that night on that channel, which I didn't watch, so I don't really know how it went. I bet it was good, cause I like him. I always hear about him around Christmas time though. I don't really actually hear about his actual music, so I only know a few of his songs. I don't really know too much about him, but yeah, he has a really nice, rich, deeper tone, and that works really good for Christmas music. So yeah, I enjoyed it. And on with the semi-finalists. First we had Trevin and Hunte singing Wind Beneath My Wings. And then they also had hometown visits. Oh, how original. We would just copy Idol. Like all the other shows, I'm just gonna... The Voice, they are kind of more original. Like they do have original things that they've come up with, The way that they do the audition rounds is very original. But once they get into the live shows, a lot of it's very the same as Idol. But Idol was the first real big show. So, all the other shows are going to base their format based on Idol. So, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. People are going to copy Idol. X Factor copies Idol. They have the themes. They do the eliminations. Well, every show has the eliminations, so of course it's going to be like Idol. But, yeah, but I give props to The Voice though. They do have a lot of original ideas. The whole iTunes thing is very, I like it sometimes, but at the same time I don't. Because, yeah, it's cool. Your favorite could get #1 on iTunes if you buy their little single for the week. But I don't know if 10 times their votes is really fair. Maybe just twice the time their votes, because 10 times their votes, because if someone has, last week, all the 4 of them were on the top 10, and Amanda and Melanie weren't on the top 10, so it's obvious that they're going to get eliminated, because 10 times the votes, that's a lot. That's 10 times the votes. So yeah, of course Melanie and Amanda left last week, because 10 times the votes is a lot of votes. So, it kind of makes it predictable, This week, Cassidy, Nicholas, and Terry made the top 10, and Trevin didn't. So, Trevin's going home. With no doubt about it, Trevin's going home. Unless he has some fans voting like crazy for him. I highly doubt he has more than 10 times the votes of the other 3. So, Bye-bye, Trevin. So anyways, I'm going to talk about Trevin, even though he's probably going to leave tonight. Yeah, so he visits his high school and his family and blah, blah, blah. And then his performance, it was kind of a snooze fest, honestly. You know, I like Trevin. He's a sweetheart. But I don't know. He has an amazing voice and he can sing almost anything, but the songs that he sings are just so predictable. On the show, he has sung the same old power ballad over and over and over, and it's just getting old. And, you know, his last note was kind of ear painful. Like, ooh, yeah, his last note was kind of painful. So, yeah, based on that last note, I would send him home. Based on him doing a boring song choice, I would send him home. Based on the iTunes chart, I would send him home too, because I don't think he's going to have 10 times more votes than the other 3 who are on the iTunes chart. So yeah, I think this is the last of Trevin. So, moving on. Next we have Nicholas David singing You Are So Tongue Twister. You Are So Beautiful. I surprisingly love this. You know, I haven't been the biggest fan of Nicholas, only because I normally tend to favor the contestants who would be good for today's market and music, because, you know, I want the winner to do well, and I want them to sell, so it does well for the show. You know, if they have artists that win that don't sell when they're off the show, you know, then the show will become less popular, and so on and so forth, if you know what I'm saying. You know, Idol has kind of had that problem a little bit with some of their winners, but you know, the past 2 years actually they've been pretty good with their sales. Scotty and Philip, they have done well. You know, Scotty's gone platinum with his album. Philip went double platinum with his single, and his debut album is doing pretty well. So I think Idol has been doing good with the sales, and I think Idol has gotten a little bit more popular. I think it kind of died down for a little bit. It's gotten a little bit more popular. And that's all because, it's not just because of the new judges. The new judges, it does help. But it's also mainly on the idols being able to sell music. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't see Nicholas selling to a popular audience. I think he's more, he's an indie kind of guy. I think he appeals to the older crowd, which is great. You know, nothing against the older crowd. They can have a preference in music too. It's just the younger generation seems to buy music more than the older generation. I feel like the older generation, they might not buy it. I don't know. But anyways, what I'm really trying to say is, I don't see him selling to a popular audience. So anyways, but I didn't really even care about that with this performance, because, you know, it was so heartfelt. And his tone was just, so rich and just plain beautiful, especially with this song. He definitely has an amazing talent. And I do kind of think that he is a little bit out of date. Like, I feel like if he lived in like the 60s or 70s or even the 80s, I think he would have a better chance of, you know, becoming a legend. Because I don't remember who it was. I think it was either Blake or Adam. They said something about how, this was a couple weeks ago, how it's like watching a legend up there. And it's kind of true. He is. He's kind of like that, because his style is very similar to a lot of the legends from back in the day. So that makes sense. You know, I feel like he's a little out of date, but, you know, people like the classic stuff. And I like the classic stuff too. So, yeah, you know, I think he deserves a spot in the finale after this performance. You know, I haven't been the biggest fan of him, but I think he earned his spot, especially with this performance, and past performances too. So, yeah, I give Nicholas a thumbs up. So next we have Cassidy Pope singing Stupid Boy. You know, I've grown to love Cassidy. At first, I wasn't a fan of hers. I thought she wasn't very original, and I thought she lacked vocal power. But I have completely changed my mind on that. She has proven me wrong. I feel like she's done a lot of diverse song choices, and has made them her own. And I think she has proven she can sing really well. You know, it's not the best voice in the world, but it's a signature sound. Like, no one else sounds like her. And it's a voice that I can hear on the radio today. So yeah, she's definitely, now that Amanda's gone, because I wanted Amanda to win, of course, but now that she's gone, Amanda's gone, Cassadee's definitely my fave to win the show. You know, it would be nice to see a girl win. I don't know, for some reason I always favor the girls more than the boys. I think maybe just because me, myself, I'm a girl, and I feel for them, and I know that guys, it's always easier for men. I don't care what anyone says, it's always easier for men. In everything. Men have always been superior than women, even though today it's more balanced. They still have a little bit more of an edge in everything they do. Not just in singing competitions, just general in life, in, you know, in jobs. You know, people are still, you know, would rather hire a man than a woman. You know, the government, I mean, there still hasn't been a female president. You know, females are still a little bit under there. You know, we're working our way up. But just in general, in life, girls are below men. So I guess me being a girl, I just, you know, I feel for the girls, and I want a girl to do well on these shows. And, you know, yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I lost my place. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Cassidy Pope. That's who I was talking about. I'm blabbing on and on and on and on. See, this is what happens when I don't do commentary for a while. I just can't stop talking. I'm just like, bleh. So anyway, so yeah, I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, I love this performance. You know, I actually didn't know the song. And apparently it's a Keith Urban song. So, you know, I like that she can sing country and make it her own. Like, I didn't even know it was a country song. I didn't realize that it was until afterwards when Blake was like, oh, she's singing a country song. And I was like, oh, that's a country song? I didn't even know that. And then, oh my God, can we just talk about a few weeks earlier when she sang Over You by Miranda Lambert? Oh my God. I was just bawling because it was around the time when a lot of stuff was going on in my family. And oh my God, she just moved me, and she moved me last night too. You know, if she doesn't make the finale, I will be shocked and very, very upset with America. And lastly, we had Terry McDermott singing Let It Be. So, if you would have told me back in the playoff rounds that Terry would be in the semifinals, I would probably laugh in your face, because when he first started off, he was just over-singing too much. The song choices he was given weren't really helping because they were songs that were supposed to be oversung. But he has shown a softer side to his voice, which I actually enjoy. You know, this wasn't my favorite performance of him, but I know a lot of people will love it just because it's a classic song and people just love classic. You know, people just love the classics. That's just how it is. People love I love the classics. Everyone loves the classics. Even people who are familiar with the classics love the classics. You play a classic song and you're like, oh yeah, I love it. Even though I don't really know it. So, I don't know what I'm talking about. So anyways, I can see why so many people like him. You know, he's very likable. He seems like a sweet guy. You know, even I had a big smile on my face when they showed him surprising his son, and when his family from Scotland were at the pub, his reaction, it was just so real. And, you know, people like that. People like real. And he is a very real person, I definitely feel like. And you know what? For some reason, Americans really love the European accents. So I think that definitely works in his favor as well. So, hey, good job, Terry. I give you a thumbs up. Never thought I would say that. Yes, I actually gave Terry McDermott a thumbs up for this week. Good job. I gave everyone a thumbs up except Trevin. Sorry. So, yeah. As for who's going home tonight, I think Trevin is going to go. I personally think Trevin should go. His performance was just boring and nothing special, where the other three, I think they all had very solid performances and worthy of going on to the finale. So honestly, it would be a shame to lose Nick, Cassidy, or Terry tonight, and all three of them made the top 10 on iTunes, so I think Trevin's going to go bye-bye. Cassidy got number 1, Terry got number 2, and Nicholas got number 4. and Trevin was nowhere to be seen. So it looks like America's getting a little bit tired of him as well. So, thank you all for watching and being patient with me. I'm going to try and make commentaries more enjoyable and to actually do the commentary. This is a hobby. It's not like my life. I have a lot of other things I do. I have a job. I have a lot of other interests besides just watching, these shows. It's just a hobby. This is just something that I started to do because I had absolutely no friends who watched these shows, and I'm like, I want someone to talk about these shows. And I'm like, and I've seen people on here, do the commentaries, and I'm like, and I've enjoyed watching them, and I'm like, well, why don't I do that? So that's why I do this. I do it because I like talking about it, and it feels good to just, let it all out and let everyone know how I feel. I guess people would say that I'm kind of wasting my time, but, I don't think until you do it, you don't realize how enjoyable it is. It's really enjoyable to just let all your opinions out and let the world know. And it's a very enjoyable feeling. It's also a very scary feeling because I'm talking right now, and people from all across the world are watching, and either they're thinking, oh yeah, I agree, or either they're thinking this girl is freaking stupid, she doesn't know what she's talking about, or they're thinking, oh, what the fuck is she doing, she's a fat ugly bitch. So it's scary at the same time, but it's also very enjoyable. And I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe more people should do this. I think it's YouTube has its categories. A lot of different people do different things, Game commentaries are very popular. Gaming, vlogs are very popular. And this is kind of a form of vlog. And I feel like more and more people are doing this. I'm not the only one who does this, surprisingly. There are a lot of people on the internet that talk about TV shows and just let out their opinions. And I think it's a really cool little category that YouTube has. It's not the biggest category, and it's not the most popular category, but I think it's a neat little category that some people have created. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I would love to see this category get bigger, and I would love to see more people doing it. And yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is if any of you guys do commentaries, just comment down below and let me know, because I would love to watch your commentaries as well. So yeah. I'm done talking. I've been talking way too much. How long is this video? Oh, 17 minutes, 18 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Follow me on Twitter @MariaHalian, and goodbye.